Hey bike farmers, thanks for clicking in. We got ourselves a Marin in the stand. These are interesting bikes. You don't see them too often. They have a little bit different geometry and a little different tube sets, kind of oblong in spots. They can make them skinnier and stronger, probably a little lighter that way. There's nothing fancy, but it's a shop quality bike in good condition. It's got one major issue, and that's this wheel is totally bent. So we're gonna replace that because you cannot repair that. I suppose if you had the exact same matching rim, you could do what's called a rim drop. You tape them together and then just transfer all the spokes over. You know, with the labor and the cost of the rim and everything, it's easier just to replace the whole wheel. So we have a replacement wheel. That's the major repair and probably the reason it came in. But overall, the bike just needs a tune-up, and it's gonna be better than brand new when we get done. This should go straight forward. Those are my famous last words. I haven't had one go straight forward in a very long time, but I still am an eternal optimist, and I'm gonna take you along for the ride, and you're gonna watch everything work out just exactly as I expect it to. You kick back and relax. I'm gonna get started. Here's a close-up on the action here, and these brake pads are totally shot. I assume we did a chain check when we took the bike in, but so that's the 0.75%, and it's just fine. If the tool slips down in there, then you want to replace the chain and probably the cassette. And here you can just barely get the point, the 0.5 or 0.5%. That's okay. We don't need to replace anything. Just a little bit of lube and a wipe, and we'll be good to go. Per the usual, I like to click all the way down there, click all the way down there, get it in little and little. Pop open that skewer, pop the wheels off, and set them aside to get started. Disconnect the brake. Oh, this one's on backwards. That's okay. We'll put it on the right way after we get done cleaning and truing it. Here you see my replacement wheel, and it has been hanging up forever, so it's really dusty. I'm gonna just go ahead and prepare that, and then we'll clean it and true it and everything just like we would on the normal bike. So I always like to sit down on Woody Charleston to do this kind of stuff. Nothing wrong with these tubes and tires. I mean, there is something wrong with this tire, this 26 by 1.5 inch tire. It's my least favorite tire size. I just don't like it. I did a whole video on how much I hate it. It was a Marin with this size tire, and it had incredible pedal strike. And I blamed it on the tires, which was a factor, but really I think maybe it had, like, the cranks were too long. And pedal strike is when you go around corners and your pedal hits. I just remember, I got it wrong in the video. You can go watch that video if you want. It's not a very good one. It did well though, because I was like, it's my least favorite thing. And people would be like, why has this guy got a problem with that tire size? And it's, hey, it's not my fault that YouTube rewards controversy, and things like tire size with bike nerds is very controversial. So, sue me, clickbait, I'm in it for the money. Anyway, I blamed it all on the tire size, and that was like the whole clickbaity reason for the video, and it was wrong, and a handful of people called me out on it, and they were right. So here I am admitting that. Am I gonna go back and do anything about it? No. Am I sorry? Not really. You know why? Because it's not a big deal. It just is not. Nobody really cares. By nobody, I mean nobody. Just, ever since I started sitting down to do wheel work, my life has gotten so much better in so many ways. I suppose it's like when people find Jesus. But for me, it's like I found comfort, leisure, laziness, mostly just comfort. There's no spring on this side. There's no spring on that side. Oh, dropped a lock ring. Oh, dropped a valve cap. Nobody cares about valve caps either, except everybody that does. Oh, dropped the lock ring again. You know, I've seen videos, like people are like, man, you drop so many things. You're always dropping things. You know, you might have a brain condition. You should go to the doctor. You know, what's wrong with you dropping everything? I swear to God. I love you people. So, we got parallel spokes here and parallel spokes here. Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we want a 4-prong spoke protector, right? Because it's a 32 spoked wheel. Don't believe me? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 times 2 is 32. So 4-prong, 32, parallel, parallel, 32. Now if it was parallel and crossing, that would signify a 36 spoke wheel, and 36 spoke wheel gets 3-prong. So the more spokes you have, the fewer prongs. And if that ain't clear as mud, I don't know what is. $90 for this old 26-inch double-walled rim wheel that's been in stock for a while. It's actually set up for disc brake if you want it, center lock. Now we got, oh, dropped a Presta to Schrader adapter thing. These are always nice to save in your wubby-dubby box. Oh, there's some dust in this rim. Dust in the rim. All you are is dust in the rim. Kansas. So this is kind of interesting. The rim strip says Giant. And I took this rim strip off the old wheel. It came off of a Marin. Now Giant is the largest manufacturer of shop quality bicycles in the world. I am guessing that Marin bicycles are made in Giant factories. Now, Giant manufactures for lots of brands, and even Trek. The way it works is the brands have their own engineers and quality departments and everything, and then they work with the managers and engineers at the plants and set up their product lines in somebody else's factory. So it's not like Giant is actually making these bikes or designing them and just putting a different name on them. It's a totally different company, and there's different designers and whatever. They just contract out the manufacturing. Because that's how the world works. It used to be you make your own stuff. Now you just pay somebody else to make it for you. Of course, Giant makes their own bikes, and they call them Giant. And then they have a little bit of an advantage, which is why you can get Giant bicycles a little bit cheaper than other major brands, and they're just as good, made with the same components, blah, blah, blah. All we are is dust in the rim. I'm the only man on the planet that buys spoke protectors in bulk. They come individually wrapped. How annoying is that? He's a dork disc man. Woohoo! They're coming through your town. He's a dork disc man. I would say classic rock is my favorite genre of music overall. Said in the last video, or one of my videos recently, that if I go back and do it again, I'd play jazz piano. You know, but it's not like my favorite music. You know, I mean, rock guitar is pretty awesome, but it kind of gets, I don't know, I guess it never gets boring. It's always pretty interesting. You know, you get the, you know, Frank Zappas that come along and make it interesting again. And then you get the Stevie Ray Vaughns that come around and make it boring again. I only said that for the comments. Don't get triggered, right? Don't get triggered. Don't fall for it. I'm trolling you. Although I will say, there was a period of time in college where couldn't get enough of that Stevie Ray. You know, he's just such a master at his craft. It's just, we had the Austin City Limits, probably the VHS, and watched it all the time. And we were just mesmerized at how effortlessly he mastered his songs. Such a good performer. But that blues rocky stuff, I mean, he did it better than just about anybody, right? But it's just not my jam. Kind of boring. All over my hands. And now for the aeration of the carcinogens. Can't get enough of that funk. Oy, what have I done? Opened up a can of worms. There's a better way to do this. You're all gonna let me know in the comments. I should get an ultrasonic cleaner. Why don't you have one? You can just throw the parts in there while you do the rest of the tune-up. You're such a hack mechanic. I would never bring my bike to you. $200 for that service, you're crazy. Uh-oh, shit. I knew that was gonna happen. My compressor is freaking out in the other room. I just heard it. Dang it. It's just not a problem I want to be solving right now. Those dang air compressors. Why did I do this? Huh? Why did I even bother? Usually I don't bother. This is why. Because this is a messy, dirty, pain in the ass job, and it's just not worth it because it just gets dirty again. Because this bike is clearly a Glacial Drumlin-y kind of bike, and you really don't get a whole lot of benefit. Woohoo, you're an American band. I'm gonna double up dirty rags. Try some Dawn Power Wash. Where's my brush? I just rinsed that off in my sink. Super gross, not doing a very good job. Feeling very sing-songy this morning. 2 cups. 2 cups of coffee. All right, the front wheel up here in the truthing stand. Don't really have anything to talk about today. I wouldn't say the shop is bouncing back or whatever, things are stabilizing, but we're busier this last week than normal, so I've been down here the past couple mornings fixing bikes, and yesterday I was like, oh, I'm gonna get like 3 bike videos done. You know, they're good tune-ups and it's good content. And I got the first bike done and thought it made a great video, and hopefully the footage is all good. I haven't seen it yet, but so that was good. And then I took a little break for lunch and then, you know, watched some YouTube and took a nap and woke up. And I rarely get out here or down here and work in the afternoons just because I'm like, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it in the afternoons. Like morning is when I'm like best, you know, I want to give you my best is what I'm saying. And so I tried to make some videos and like right away I just got like super grumpy and negative and just started yapping about stuff that I shouldn't be yapping about on this channel. At the end of the day, I think it's hard with the information overload out there. We're all inundated with all this stuff all the time. It's just hard to like keep perspective and stay focused on positive things in your life and the good stuff that's going on, because like everything in my life is like going really well right now. But I just got like really negative and grumpy and cynical and stinking thinking. So I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna do those videos. Try to stay a little bit more positive, calmer, maybe a little less cynical. But I don't know, the cynicism's kind of fun, you know. I do like making fun of the absurdity in the world, or exposing the absurdity in the world. That's kind of my jam. I am an absurdist. If I were to identify with any kind of philosophy or groupthink, absurdism, Albert Camus, you know, kind of like next level existentialism, where it's like, it's just all so dang ridiculous. All we can do is what we got right in front of us. The myth of Sisyphus, right? Pushing the rock up the hill just to have it roll back down and push the rock back up the hill again. That's all life is. And you just have to enjoy it. You just have to let it be good, you know? I mean, Sisyphus, you gotta think, you know, he's pushing the rock up the hill, and at least like when he's up there, he's like, oh, I'm getting good exercise, and man, what a view. And, you know, the way down won't be as tough. You know, once you get up here, you can kind of slide down, and that's woo, you know? Like, did Sisyphus have fun sliding down the hill to go get that rock again? I'm gonna think he did. You know? Work hard, play hard, folks. And that's my life these days, as I come down and make videos, or I'm up there editing or something every morning, you know, doing my thing. Creative work, trying to keep things going down here in the bike shop, and from about 6 a.m. to about noon. And then I go out to the golf course and play some golf, or if it's raining, I'll go run some errands, take care of the family, and I do that just about 7 days a week. It's rare that I like completely take a day off and don't do any kind of work. Like, I don't have weekends or anything like that. I just kind of roll with it. You know, this life doesn't make itself. Building a life instead of making a living. That's what we're doing here. And it's going pretty darn good these days. Making the ends meet. What does that mean? 2 pieces of string, the ends of the balance sheet, the ends of the reconciliation of financial ledgers. What does that mean? Making the ends meet. Hey bike farmers, just a quick note while there's a lull in the action. If you've made it this far, I assume you liked the video enough to click the like button. If you really like it, let us know in the comments below. And if you're into bicycle content for regular people, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're able to support more directly, click on the super thanks button and send me some taco money. Or better yet, join the channel as a monthly sustaining member. All of these things will help grow the channel organically and give the Bike Farmer YouTube channel a strong future. Thanks again for watching. Now let's get back to the bikes. Pull your derailleur. That loosens the cable enough to get that out of its happy home. And oh man. Okay, so this is like grindy. And I think it's because this housing here is kinked and silly. So we're gonna take a risk. Now, I rarely like to snip cables and replace housing because the ends tend to fray and then you can't get them through, and then you got to replace the whole cable, and it just takes more time, and it's kind of a pain in the patoot. But you know, this here is a little shoddy. Now, if you don't have access to new housing, you can just snip off the kink and replace that ferrule. And if you don't have the ferrule, you can probably even just like, you know, if you had to in a pinch, you could reuse that one and try to use the, you know, the supportive side. You know, I could get away with that. But that's kind of hacky and it's a customer's bike, so I'm gonna just cut a new length here. And how long is a piece of housing? Bike farmer, what say you? What is a length of housing? How far is a length? Well, honestly, you wouldn't understand. It's that long. It's as long as it needs to be. All right, say your prayers. We shouldn't be asking things of God. We should be thanking Him for things. I mean, you could ask for guidance in the morning and then thank Him for all of the wonderful things from that day. That's good practice, by the way. So you can pull this front derailleur out and then reach around and disconnect those cables. Yeah, when I was in the throes of early sobriety, I would do that. You know, every night before bed, do a little praying. Thank God for, you know, getting me through the day without catastrophe. And then in the morning, I'd wake up and like give intention, you know, like, all right, I want to get these things done today, and just ask for God's presence and stuff. I kind of lost that practice because things are going well. It's kind of, I'm only spiritual or whatever when it's convenient or when I need something. It works though. I'm telling you, I never thought that. I thought that was hooey patooey bullshit, but man, it got me through some hard times. Hooey katooey. I made that up right now. I can thank God for hooey takooey. Patooey, cooey. Kakooey, caw. Oh, there we go. So my wubby dubbies here are totally roached. Roach count 1. What's up, y'all? Just getting lube all over everything. Somebody said I should wait till the end to clean the bike. Yeah, the last video, I sang the Wiping As You Go song again and got a lot of comments about, you know, come on, dude, really, again, get over it. Like, a joke is played, it's getting annoying, it's a little bit old. And you're right, joke is old. And then somebody was like, you should clean your bike at the end anyway. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe there's a case to be made for cleaning the bike at the end. So I'm kind of trying that here. You know, I haven't done the wipe it down. And then I got one yesterday that was like, I wouldn't even let that bike in the stand looking like that. Like, it would have to be a complete pressure washing cleaning because working on a clean bike is so much nicer. And I was like, what kind of soft-handed prima donna bullshit is that? Like, are you kidding? You gotta have your bikes clean to work on them? Okay. Park Tool SP7. It's the super pinchy. Oh yeah, I was gonna wait. I can't help it. I can't work on a dirty bike. I like to drop a couple drops of lube down in the brake boss area there. And then if you wiggle it just a little bit. Ernest P. Worrell wrote that song. Yeah, you did that, huh? These brake pads have left and right on them. Alright, so these are like the convex washers. Split those. And this is the spacers. Wide or skinny. When I took the old pads off, I made a little mental note that the wide spacers were closest to the pad. So I don't have to flip them around. But every bike is a little different. Weird and different. And this, well, what the heck am I doing here? Okay, so here you have it. I put them on the wrong side. I got turned around, folks. This is really hard to do without dropping everything. All right. This is gonna be max dexterity. Oh, oh, shoot. Right. Convex, and then this is a concave washer, spacer. And this is a regular old washer. You know, washers have two sides, right? So there's the flat side, and then there's the round side. All right, go flat side in. I don't even know if that's right, but they do have two sides. I could see the case being made either way there. I saw some engineering explanation, maybe on a car channel or something, about, you know, you have the round kind of beveled side and then the flat side. You know, like, do you want the round beveled side in? I always go flat side in. So if you can grab it like that. There we go. Let's just kind of, oh, I think this needs lube. There's a little kink right there. Kinky noodle. Kinky noodle dandy. Kinky doodle went to town. Kinky doodle dandy. Eating macaroni. Yeah, it's an abomination to have these tires on this bike because there's so much clearance for big, plump, 26-inch, juicy, riding on a cloud tires. But whatever. I'm gonna bend the spring back. Be careful doing that because you can really kind of mess things up. Famous last words. What did I do? I had to hook my brake housing back into its happy home. Then I'm gonna have to, I got new pads on here. They're much wider profile than the old pads. So we'll let some cable out. Do a little reconnection. That ain't half bad, you know? I like a 5mm T handle for this adjustment. What's up, Boot? Why you running away like that? Stay right there. Yeah, okay, good boy. All right, we're gonna let a little bit of tension off this side. See me, feel me. No, I don't know. How does it go? See me, hear me, touch me, feel me. All right, super pinchy. That's new to this video. Just made it up right here, folks. The Super Pinchy 7. Bango, bango, bongo. So I'm gonna just kind of put a little bit of lube all the way along this cable. It's got some surface rust. It's just an aesthetic thing. It doesn't bother me. Probably bothers some of you. gonna fray. Oh, got it. I like to grab it. Here, we're gonna back this out just a couple turns. And we're gonna grab it with a needle nose and pull her tight. Now, I cut this piece of housing just slightly longer. You can see the old pinch point right there. So the housing's just a little longer than it was. That's just fine. We'll grab Dr. Pincherton here. He is super pinchy. Okay, so that was a little slow coming down, so I'm gonna turn that in just like a turn and a quarter. Go back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess while I'm at it. Here's a relatively clean rag, actually. Don't worry about getting lube on your rims. Those brand new brake pads will squeegee that shit right off there. If you ever have squeaky brakes, just spray some lube on them. It'll go away. And your bike will stop fine. You heard it here first. Right at your own risk. I can't tell if he's kidding. All right, I don't know if you can see any of this, but pull that derailleur out and then get that piece of housing back in its happy home. Just a tiny rub. I'm going to turn the barrel adjuster in on the shifter a bit. Maybe a bit more. That was a little sluggish, wasn't it? Oh, that was good. No, too slow for me. So, find low and high. We'll just back the low one out just a smidge. Nice and snappy. High gear, a little bit of a wubby-dubby there, nothing bad. Okay, so we are rubbing in high gear. I don't like that. And then you can see it's not the limit screw. The derailleur looks pretty straight, unrelated, but there's lots of dirt in here. So this would explain why the derailleur cable was so tight. Because if I tighten the derailleur cable, I can get it to stop rubbing for the most part. And it still shifts. So what's the problem, Mr. Bike Farmer? Got a little bit of a rub there. It seems like we're gonna be in that gear way more often. So I'm gonna make that stop rubbing. And then maybe just bend that a smidge. Whatever you do, avoid doing this at all costs. See how slow that got? I mean, it's slow, but tolerable. I'm gonna leave it, calling it good enough. See how there's like corrosion and dirt? Gone forever. That's probably more better, hey? Just seems like the rest of the bike got all cleaned, but not the crank. I got this brush that I hardly ever use. Just can't imagine that it'd be very effective. It's a waste of time and money. See, I could totally be singing the grandma song right now. But you guys like just don't want to be thinking about my grandma pooping. I don't get it. But you're right. Jokes get old. You know, I gotta come up with something new. Maybe I could talk about my dog getting after his nether agents instead. Is that a good place to go for this sort of thing? It's on the right. All right, skewer's on this side, and the tire tread has like a little, it's like an arrow pointing forward. It was all backwards before. And here you can see just how much clearance you have for tires and fenders. And I mean, you could really load this thing up and make it the greatest general purpose commuter all-rounder ever. Good candidate for it. Get in here and let gravity kind of suck the lube down in there and let it wick through. And then don't forget to lube your noodle, boys. Same thing up here where the new brake pads are a little bit wider profile, so we're going to let some cable out. And then get her hooked up. Just going to let a smidge more out. All sorts of things going on there. I can tell these want to howl too. It's not a good day out there to be testing howling brakes. It's been raining all night. It's moist, humid. Damp. It's dank. Air is thick, I tell ya. Now, a man smarter than myself would just be towing those brakes right now. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not gonna howl. rubbing right there. Let's get after that rub. Just a little bit. Tighten it down. Still gonna rub. Oh, the hub's loose. Oh man, that one's rubbing on that side too. Yeah, we got many things going on. I think the headset's loose, not by much. But if you loosen the clamping bolts and then turn this guy in, that brings everything together. And I always like to tighten one down. And then I spin the wheel, slam on the brakes, that felt tight. Then you can tighten the other one down. And we're gonna pop this wheel off. I'm just gonna adjust the hub quick. You know, I thought I was gonna adjust the hub quickly, but I realized it was a bigger problem than I thought. So if we take our little rubber dust cap thingies off, front hubs are always 13, well, almost always 13 on the cones and 17 on the lock nuts. Okay, so that side's tight. And now I'm just kind of wiggling things back and forth. It feels really clean and good in there. And then this one was loose. Yep. So one side had loosened up. Okay, and that little tightening deal I just did loosened the cone. So we're gonna go like that, loosen the lock nut. I'm gonna just barely hand tighten that side and then tighten the lock nut down, and that should give us just exactly perfect adjustment. There is just a very, very tiny bit of play now, and so when we squish it together with the skewer, should set the preload just exactly perfect. And per the use, I'm just gonna add some tension in general to both sides here. Crank that one down. See, it's only pulling on one side, and then we'll add a little tension to that side. See how it's only pulling on that side now? We're gonna add a little here. I'm gonna take a little off on this side now. Very fine adjustments. Ooh. We are very close, if not right on it. Good enough for who it's for. I'd ride that. One thing I'm gonna do here is find a access port into the sole of these shifters. Get some one step up in there, and then just kind of reanimate those pawls and everything in there. And they feel just good as new, better than brand new probably. Kind of flushes some of that old gunky goo. Just work it. This is something that I'd like to do is, these bolts are just kind of a little rusty, but if you just put a drop of tri-flow in the bolt heads and around them, it stops the rust. and makes things look a little better. At least tended to. But there you have it. The Marin Muirwoods. 26 by 1.5. But okay. And otherwise, you know, nice 20-inch frame. I mean, this would fit me great. Good hybrid, all-arounder, general purpose bicycle. You know, they don't make them like they used to. I tell you what, this thing is bomb-proof with that Dior rear derailleur. It's got some nice Shimano hubs. No, nice Shimano rear hub now. But yeah, nice, the dual walled, you know, tougher rims, and they blew it up somehow. But this is a nice double walled rim as well. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this bike. Not a whole lot. Everything's working great. Not a whole lot to report on anymore. That's the end of this video. You know, and if you made it this far, you're doing the very best I could ever ask of anyone in my entire life. Not maybe the very best. You can like and subscribe for absolutely free. I do this for a living now. This is pretty much what I do. I make a little bit of money with the bike shop, but it's just because I got to get rid of bikes and want to help out my community. But there's not a lot of income coming from that. So I count on you guys and your support. And you know, it doesn't cost you a thing to watch these if you sit through the commercials, which many of you do. But a little extra super thanks or join the channel. That's what's going to pay the bills. And that's a percentage of the income I have every month, and I love it. I love seeing that. So please, if you have a little extra to give, you know, a good place to find money is in your subscriptions in your phone. Go through and cancel all those subscriptions you're not using. And maybe find $15, $20 a month and join the channel and throw it Bike Farmer way. This is all viewer supported at this point. I'm trying to figure out the merch thing still. It's been 2 years. I just don't want to do it. And I did try it and it didn't work out. And that's one thing I could do. I could do sponsorships and that kind of thing, but that seems like a pain in the butt. I'd much rather just have it be us here. So Bike Farmers supporting bike farmers. Yeah, I'm just so grateful. This is such a fun way to make a living. And I hope that you enjoy watching this. And if you want to see more, click that notification bell so you and your bikes can stay tuned.